Hello and welcome back to the channel. I've got a haul video for you today. In fact, I think the next 4 or 5 films will be haul videos. So those of you who mentioned in the community post that you enjoyed the haul videos, well, you got something to look forward to, hopefully, over the next couple of weeks. It's a massive haul that has been accumulated over probably a couple of weeks, I would estimate. And it's come from antiques fairs, markets and auctions. So a combination of Malvern, the Alfred and the Duke's Antiques Fair in Kidderminster, and auctions, for example, the Urban Auction House. So it's all sourced from a mixture of places. No charity shops. I don't shop in charity shops, so I do have to pay up for it a little bit because I am buying from dealers. And obviously that drives the sale price that I list the items for, because I have to make a profit as a full-time dealer. And as you know, I allocate 1/3 of the sale price to the purchase price, 1/3 for my overheads and 1/3 for profit. And that's always worked for me. It's becoming increasingly difficult now because there is a bit of a race to the bottom in terms of prices. And that's one of the reasons I'm gradually pulling away from eBay and moving to my own antiques and vintage e-commerce website, which is called Antiques Central. So please look it up because that will help get it ranked on the Google search engine, and I'd find that really helpful. So if you have time to look it up, you'll see the URL or the link, not a link, the URL below. And it'd be great if you could spare a couple of minutes to have a look through it. And you never know, you might see something that you would like to buy. By the way, if you are a subscriber or even a regular viewer, and you do see something on my website, mention the fact, message me via the contact page, let me know, and I'll give you a 10% discount on the listed price. So how's that for a deal? Anyway, we'll see. So it's a huge haul. There's probably 30 or 40 items. So I'm not going to do all those in one film. I'll divide it up into a maximum of 10 items per film, I think. And again, a community post, the overwhelming consensus was 10 to 20 minutes in duration for the videos. So I'm going to do my best to keep to that. And in that respect, I've actually got a timer down here that I'm going to set off to keep me within that time frame. So I'm just going to set it off now. So the plan is not to go beyond, certainly not beyond 20 minutes. As I mentioned, I've got bags and bags of stock. And there's no particular order I'm going to go through. I'm just going to pick them out and show you one by one, probably several per film. So it's also going to be a mix of antiques, vintage and decorative items. And when I say decorative, that means they're neither vintage nor antique, but more retro in many respects. So anyway, enough of the waffle. Let's get going. First off, I want to show you a pair of Indian exercise clubs. Now, there's a very good chance these are antique. They're hardwood, probably beech. I would expect them to be beech. When you sell these, when you list them, it's really important to put the weight of them, because people that buy them, that's the most important thing, the weight. And you can juggle with them, or you can exercise with them. So endless hours of fun with these. They're also very saleable. I did have to pay up for these, probably paid about half what I'm going to get, to be quite honest. So I didn't quite stick to my 33% rule on profit. These will sell anything up to £65. So if you see them, snap them up. As I say, Indian clubs used for exercise, and I would estimate they are early part of the 20th century. So possibly up to around the 1920s, that kind of period. So very nice find, and I always buy them. Next up, and there's so much stock. It's all on my workbench as well here, which you can't see, I don't think. But I'll try and show you a mixture of stock. So next up, this is a decorative piece. And it's a small solid brass display easel. I'll show you in a close-up here. It's got a folding rest on the back, solid brass, and you could display photo, small work of art. But what a lot of people use them for now, and this is why they're becoming a bit more saleable, is they rest their mobile phones on them. So if you've got your mobile phone and you want to display it on your, well, you want to keep your eye on it on your desk, then you can just literally insert your mobile phone onto the rest there, and off you go. Didn't pay very much for this at all, and they don't sell for a huge amount. Probably sell for in the region of £20. And I probably paid about £6 for this at, I believe it was Malvern. So nice little decorative item, no age to it, solid brass, but decorative, functional, and it will be affordable, and it will be on the website, as will the Indian clubs. They'll be on the website as well. Next up, we'll have a look at something completely different. I am trying to mix it up so it's not all metal. We have a really attractive hand-painted wooden bucket or pail. Now, I'll show you on the close-up. There you go. It's not, I believe, bargeware. It's not in the manner of bargeware, and I think it's folk art, and I think it's probably European. If you know differently, let me know in the comments below. It's a floral design, well made, little wrought steel handle, and when I say wrought, that means it's handmade. Steel handle with a wooden grip. I would say it's watertight, but on the website it will be listed as untested. And sale price for this, I will probably be asking 25 plus round about £5 postage, so around £30. So a lovely little hand-painted folk art pail or bucket, and it makes a wonderful planter, interior or exterior. Back to the metalware. Here we have an antique copper planter. It's from the arts and crafts period. It's hand beaten. You can see the, hopefully anyway, it's a bit in the, oh, there you go. You can see where it's been hand beaten. A repousse or repousse design around the circumference, and what they call a pie crust lid, because it looks like the crust of a pie. And who doesn't like a pie? I love them. Anyway, it's a beautiful copper planter, arts and craft period. I would estimate this at approximately £45 to £60 plus shipping. So it'll go on the website and we'll just see how we get on. Now, this next item is a fantastic arts and crafts copper water jug with a brass handle. Now, I think it's approximately the crossover period between Art Nouveau and arts and crafts. Now, why do I say that? Well, if you look carefully, you can see the seam for the actual jug itself isn't just a straight, cheaply done seam. It's curves. It's decorative. And that curved flowing line is absolutely typical of the Art Nouveau period, as opposed to arts and crafts. So I think there's a little bit of both here. If you look, you can see the hand beating that went into producing the body of the jug, combined with that lovely, wavy, organic seam. Brass handle, overall extremely aesthetic. Heavy, so I think it's UK made, British made. More than likely watertight, but it will be listed as untested on the website. And overall, a beautiful copper arts and crafts crossover period water jug. I would value this at approximately £60. Again, I did pay up for it because it was part of a job lot. Now, the interesting thing about job lots are you invariably get the one piece you want, but along with that one item that you were bidding for comes 4, 5, 6 other items that you don't necessarily want. Now, that's the whole point of why I'm keeping my eBay store. Because although I managed to pick up this beautiful copper jug, I also picked up 2 or 3 other items, which I'll show you. There's not anything necessarily wrong with these items, but I wouldn't have bid on them at the auction if they were individual lots. So the first thing we've got here is a silver-plated, what I would call a bonbon dish. What's interesting about this, if I show you on the close-up, is you can see the base, which has been exposed. And this material here is some kind of conglomerate. I don't know what it is, but it's used to weigh down or add weight to the actual item to make it feel more substantial than it really is. It's silver-plated, so I can't see a maker's mark anywhere on it. But what is interesting is yesterday I ordered online a textbook about Elkington and Co., who are were one of the top manufacturers of silver-plated items in the UK, if not the world. It's a fantastic textbook, so maybe if I get it in time, I'll show you the book on the next haul film. This could well be Elkington. I'm not sure. I don't know. But either way, it looks like it has brass component and then silver plated on top. I think it's brass anyway, as opposed to copper. I'll probably have a look at that in more detail. But it came along as part of the job lot, along with 2 other items, which are, again, both silver plated. And one is the shell dish on a decorative dolphin stand. No great age, you can tell from the bottom. There's the wing nut, so this is probably, it's retro, isn't it? 60s, 70s, 80s, hard to tell. And a smaller shell dish that you could use as a ring dish. So these 3 items came in the same job lot, along with the copper jug, which is the item I really wanted. So sometimes you have to take the rough with the smooth a little bit, and all 3 of these small these bonbon dishes and trinket dishes will go on the eBay site. Right, we've got about 4 minutes left. So next up, I'll show you one of my favourite items, which is this lovely cast iron polar bear money box. There he is. And you can see on the back there, the wing nut, which is all still fully working. So if we take off the wing nut, he splits apart. And that's the inside of him. So I would estimate this. They do make reproductions, but I think this is original. Judging by the wing nut and the patina to the cast iron on the inside. It's very heavy. I'm not sure where it's made. I'm going to do some research on it. I'm not even sure if it's UK made or possibly German. But I will do the research before I price it up and list it. That's always really important to do. Don't just randomly price something up, gut feeling. It's always best to do your research. It's bordering on, to be honest, it's bordering on being a keeper. It's that good, and I can save all my little pennies in there, which every good antique dealer should be doing, by the way. That's my top tip of the day. Save your pennies. And I love him. Now, whether or not he was originally a black bear and someone's painted him white to look like a polar bear, quite possibly. But I'm not bothered about that. I just love the look of him. He's got a lovely little face. There you go. Look at that. Could be a keeper, but if I was to sell him, I'd probably take a punt at the moment of around the 45. Around the £45 mark, but I might be off. Don't hold me to that. So, a lovely little cast iron bear. Right, we've got about a minute left if I'm going to stick to my 20 minutes. I'm not going to rush through the rest of the items. I think there's plenty to go through over the next 3 or 4 films that we make. So that's the plan anyway. So as ever, if you are a new subscriber, let me know where in the world you're from and I'll add you to the digital subscriber list that should be scrolling along the bottom of the screen as I speak. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.